Or I could just be like walking in the mall or something, hearing it. I feel like, but anyway, that's the countdown music that we're talking about. This is the Loco Sports Lowdown. I'm Justin Jarrett. We got Wes Kerr, Max Arraj. We got other friends stopping by. Misa B Trollin, Misa Garzon going to stop by. He painted the town blue the other night, along with the girls from May River. So I'm sure he's going to want to talk about the Derby. But we'll also talk just Loco soccer with him. He's a knower of all things soccer, and or the best knower of it that we know anyway. Best one we can pull. We can't get Taylor Twellman on a Monday night, but we can get Misa. So we got Misa.
I think Misa knows more about the soccer scene than Twellman does.
Well, Loco-wise, yeah. I just called him knower of all things soccer, and I said, like, for us.
Yeah.
And then we got Coach Mullis, who he caught a evening nap so he could stay up for us. He's been known to fall asleep when he's booked, but not tonight. He'll be joining us to talk Loco baseball. Been a lot going on. Not tonight though. They tried in a couple of places and it did not work out in their favor. The weather wins tonight. It was weird. I'll tell you. I understand it now when it comes to making a decision based on a forecast. It is hard. I mean, you got to make a call by 1, 2 at the latest, and you're looking at a forecast that says 40 to 60% chance of rain at game time, and you're like, but end of the day, I mean, worst case scenario is you postpone a game and it turns out you could have played. That's the worst case when you postpone it. The worst case when you try to play it is much worse. So I'm glad we made the call we did. I was sweating a little bit when it was still sunny at 5:30, but about 6, it blew up a heck of a storm, and it was downpour at 6 o'clock. And I sent the group text a message and said, "Hey, time for first pitch. You guys glad we canceled the game now?" Because they were kind of fussing about it earlier. But I'm glad we weren't playing when the deluge got here. But how you boys doing? How'd you enjoy your rainy evening here? We got a little bit of a break from the action.
Yeah, I was looking forward to coming back out there since I took some time off, and all of a sudden it rains. So got to wait for tomorrow.
Yeah, indeed. A lot of stuff got bumped just to tomorrow, too, right? Like, I know the May River Bluffton game, right, was just bumped to tomorrow. Baseball, I'm guessing all the baseball games probably did. They tried to play Bishop England and Buford, but
doubly
got
packed
first.
Late with all the soccer tomorrow as well, adding in all the baseball. So tomorrow is going to be no joke about it. April 1st is going to be one action-packed evening.
Well played. Plus USCB baseball and softball at home tomorrow against Edward Waters. So big day in the Loco coming tomorrow. Not really as many like region matchups in soccer. It doesn't look like though. May River has. That's baseball. Sorry, I was looking at baseball.
Oh yeah,
my bad. Sevier County playing May River. May River's playing a lot of out of town teams right now, which is interesting. We'll talk to Mullis about that later on. But the show presented by Mickelson Law Firm, our original sponsor, our all-star sponsor of Loco Sports. They're our official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, but they're also our just our good friends. They've been with us since the beginning, supporting Loco Sports since its inception in 2017 and still with us today. And they can help you with all your legal needs right in downtown Bluffton. Great folks, the Mickelsons. Call on them for your legal needs. They're our all-star sponsor, presenting sponsor of the Loco Sports Lowdown tonight. And they present our first guest, the man, the myth, the legend, Misa Garzon. What's up, buddy? Fresh cut.
How's it going, guys?
Been to your guy lately?
Yeah, no, I go to Henry, one of my former players in Bluffton. Nice. So supporting one of my former players in his own business. So he does a good job.
Yeah, he got you lined up good. Painted the town blue, my friend. You wanna brag a little bit? 3-0 for the boys, 3-1 for the girls. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean it's been 3 days, so I think there's plenty of time for morning. There should be past 3 days now. So the boys, I think this is the first time, and I have to look at the history record, but I think it's the first time in Derby history that we get a clean sweep, JV boys and girls and varsity boys and girls. So it was a pretty good night at the Den with the girls getting a big 3-1 win to kind of keep them in that region race and the playoff seeding and whatnot. And then for the boys at the Shark Tank, Same thing for us. We didn't play our best game Friday. They made some adjustments that kind of made it harder for us, but our defense was phenomenal. We held them to 0 shots on goal. Defense has been phenomenal the last few games since the Bishop England game. We've only allowed 3 goals in 4 games, and one of those was Richmond Hill. And in our last 3 region games, we've only allowed 4 shots on goals, and that's 3 games. So
Jeez.
Our defense has been really, really solid. Offensively, scoring hasn't been an issue for us this year, but it's been our defense that stepped up, and they stepped up big time on Friday night. Just kind of controlling Bluffton's attack and not letting them do anything. We kind of knew what they wanted to do, what they like to do. So we wanted to make sure that we didn't give them any space or any time to kind of use their speed up top, because they do have a lot of speed. So it was a good night. And now this week we get ready for Colleton tomorrow at Colleton. And then Friday we host Bishop England as well. So it'll be a big week for us coming up.
Yeah, never an easy one over there at Colleton. You have to make sure you're putting up the same effort that you have those last couple of games. But this stretch that you guys have been having has been really impressive. And I got to watch it firsthand against Hilton Head. I was at the Hilton Head game a couple of like a week or 2 ago, and I agree with you. The defense was impeccable. What you guys were able to do to shut down that Seahawk offensive attack for the most part of that game, and you guys have some tremendous players on that back line, and just the effort and the intensity was really showing up from the outset. And then, when the Seahawks made that push to try to tie it when they got on the board, I thought the defense really stood up big time. And then I remember your goalkeeper made a huge save where Hilton was looking to tie it. And then you guys got that one late to make it 3-1, put it out of reach. And then you kept that momentum going over to Bluffton. So this region, not easy, but you guys have shown the ability to step up. So, just give a shout out to some of your guys, especially that defense that you mentioned, who has really been the difference in a very tight region.
Yeah, no, our team is fairly new this year. So, we have a lot of new players, but very talented players. So like our back line that you mentioned, West against Hilton Head, and then against Bluffton this past Friday. It's one senior there, Lucas Presida, who's our captain. And shout out to Lucas. Friday during the day, he was in Columbia at a welding competition, at the state welding competition. Won first place, so kudos to him. And then made the beeline back to Bluffton to make it in time for warm-ups for our game. So he stepped up, really, really did a good job. And then we have Harper Ware, who's our lone anchor and center. He's a junior, first-year varsity player for us. He's been phenomenal as a leader out there, and also just overall his play. He's just been doing great. And then Max Presida, Lucas's brother, who's a sophomore. That's pretty much our starting back 3. And we started playing a back 3 a couple of years ago, just to give something different than what other teams do. And the thing with the back 3 is you have to really be confident in your 1v1 defensive abilities, where you're not trying to win the ball per se every time, but you're just trying to contain them until you get support. And so, that's been really helpful. But we've also had our wing backs who have helped. Hayden Collin, the senior, had a great game Friday night. Sam Pelger, our sophomore, you're going to see him here soon in the highlights. He's the one that takes his jersey off and goes berserk in the celebration. But he's a sophomore. He's been phenomenal defensively and offensively, providing 5 goals as a wing back. Timmy O'Gorman out wide, Santi Lopez. It's really been a whole crew. But if you look at our roster, we have 7 seniors, and the rest out of our 19 players, 12 are underclassmen. And many of those are first-year varsity players. So the talent is really strong. But our goalkeeper, Andres Sejas, second-year varsity player. He was our starting keeper last year. He's a senior this year. He's done phenomenal as well, just kind of helping that back line. But, if you look historically in our programs, when it comes to my center backs, I don't sub them much. I give them a lot of trust, and we believe in a bend but don't break. You're not going to, teams like Bluffton, Hilton Head, Bishop England, you're not going to hold them scoreless often. Here's a celebration from Pelger. He's about to go berserk.
Yeah.
Got a nice, a well-deserved yellow for that, well-earned yellow.
Well-earned.
But, it's overall teamwork. They bought into our philosophy. They bought into the work rate. So when you look at us defending defensively, it's everyone defending. Everyone's pressuring, everyone's playing hard, and just trying to make sure that we are doing our job so we can make it as difficult as possible for the opposition. And then our attack. We so far this season in 14 games, we've scored 66 goals. And we don't have a light schedule. It's not like we're playing, a bunch of soft teams. We were averaging over 4 goals a game against ranked teams. We're averaging over 3 goals a game. That's not easy to do. So we're seeing the fruits of our early season labor with the tough games against the Riversides and the Stratfords and the Ashley Ridges and, the Maldens of the world, the teams that are right now ranked, paying off in our region when you see a team like a Bluffton or Hilton Head. So hopefully we'll continue this week. West made a point with Colleton last year. Believe it or not, when we went to Colleton, we only won 2-1, and we were down 1-0 for 70 minutes. In the last 2 minutes, we scored 2 goals. The stats line will show you a completely one-sided
They played
game.
Bishop England tough the other night too.
3-1. They've had some good scorelines. I said it when we played them last time when they came to us early this season that this is probably the best team I've seen Colleton County have on the boys soccer varsity side. They are a really solid program. We've talked about this ad nauseum in Loco Sports, where they're like a 2A, 3A school playing in a 4A, and it's not their fault because some sports where they're not as competitive, it's not
demographically speaking. Yeah, in certain sports they are.
So we know tomorrow we can't overlook them, and right now we didn't practice today because of the storms that were coming in. We took the night off, but we know tomorrow we got to focus on Colleton County and get the job done there on the road. And then, Friday is going to be a big game where we host Bishop England, who right now, as you see in the standings, they're first in region halfway through the region games.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like a big one there.
Top.
Bishops.
Indeed.
You guys are right there.
Yeah, so now that we are through the first leg of the season, I guess you'd say, where do you see? The margins are pretty narrow, right?
Yes.
Even your 3-0 win over Bluffton was 1-0 until fairly late, I think. So, these games are very competitive. Home and away matter that much, or does it matter significantly because of the surface?
With the local game, so we got a big.
You all play on the same surface, right?
Yeah. So locally, Bluffton and Hilton Head, it's pretty much the same surface. Buford is the only one that has a different type of turf because they have the nicer turf than what we have. We have the sand. They have the nicer one, but it's the same surface, so that's not as big a difference. But with Bishop England, what really hurt us, when them scoring in 20 seconds and getting 3 goals in the first half. Their field is a natural grass field, and it looks like a field that's used by lacrosse teams. And that lacrosse teams are powerhouses. They have JV and varsity lacrosse, JV and varsity soccer. They practice and play there, and you can tell that it's just not a good field. But it's home for them, and they're used to it, and they benefit off it. If you look at their region schedule, 4 to 5 region games so far have been at Bishop England. So now they're in the back leg. They got us Friday. They have Wando Saturday, who's number 1 in the state right now. They have next week. They come to us Friday night. Tuesday they come to Bluffton, and then Friday they go to Hilton Head. So they're going through the road trip right now. And you guys saw last year, James Island had the same situation, and they lost against Bluffton when they came down, and then almost lost against Hilton Head. That road trip is a lot, and
it is, and that adjustment from natural grass to turf is no joke either, because you don't know how to read bounces and stuff. Like it's a totally different ball game played on turf.
And so far Bishop England in their schedule, a lot of the games they've played have been on natural grass field. So we're hoping to have it as an advantage, for our teams down here in Beaufort County. But it's big. And, for playoffs now with the RPI ranking, the way it works for 4A, winning the region here can get you home playoffs throughout as the 1 seed or even the 2 seed.
What do we always say? What do we always say about this region every year?
And like right now, you have Bishop England, I think, is number 2 and 5 in 4A. We're number 5. Hilton Head's number 6 or 7. Bluffton's number 8 or 9. We have 4 ranked teams in our region, which is no surprise on the boys' side. So it's a tough region, and it's going to come down to these last few region games, and I want to see how Bishop England does on the road on turf. on the turf road trip. They're a solid, strong team. You know, they've kind of been down the last few years to their standards. You know, they're a powerhouse. But this year they've come up strong in 4A. Obviously, they got a lot of new players. But yeah, Libby, I am a natural grass guy only when it's properly maintained. If it's not properly taken care of, it's useless. But if you can maintain a grass field, I will go on grass 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, no doubt. The guy in the green room, Mr. Mullis, knows a thing or two about
Butch,
maintaining grass.
The few times Bush did our field back in the state championship year, man, that field was so pristine. It was so beautiful. And you look at our baseball field and our softball fields, you can tell when they're well maintained by people who know what to do. But you know, if we can't get the commitment or the whatever we need to get it maintained, because it's a lot for our district to do with so many schools. Yes, the district made that decision because it's cheaper to maintain. Then turf is the way to go. And with as much rain as we get and the weather here, it's just better. But and if I had to choose grass, but I would hire Mullis in a heartbeat to maintain our grass because it would be phenomenal.
But you can also with turf, I mean, there's no such thing as overusing it. You know, like I mean, you can have as many teams as you want using it. You can have people come outside groups using it, and they're not tearing up your field. Like, there's a lot of benefits to it, but I'd certainly worry about the environmental impact that it's going to have over time. Like, I worry that 100 years from now, they're going to just look down and see piles of rubber where we used to have football fields. But I don't know. Shout out one time, absolutely one time.
Yeah, even injuries on turf, it's a higher risk of injury, and it's just it's like
a lot of non-contact knee injuries and stuff, which I mean they happen on grass too. But Mullis will get going on that. He's a big advocate for the natural grass, although now he is pieced out, so we may have got him riled up. But more than likely it was just gremlins. But looking around the rest of the Lowco, and I did pull up the 4A Max Preps RPI because it's time to start having fun with that.
This year.
And that's pretty cool that we got 4 teams in the region in the top 10 in the state right now in the RPI. That's backs up what we were saying earlier.
Yeah, no, it's again a tough region. It's like, I guess, Region 6 for soccer is just going to be tough from here until the end of time. Every year. So I'm just glad we don't have to travel to Charleston 2 times a year. Like we used to with Beckham and James Island, just one time, and we got it out the way early. But you see Bishop England right now is number 1 in the RPI. We're 5th, right behind Wren. And Daniel is 3rd, Great Collegiate 2nd. You look at the strength of schedule with the opponent winning percentage. It's not bad. I think Carleton is 20th, if I'm not mistaken. And then Buford is not too far behind. So like, if the season ended today, every team in our region will make the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Every team.
All in the top 25 out of 41. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because Buford's not a bad team. Although I think they do have some discipline coming, I heard, for some guys, but I don't think it'll impact. I think they maybe miss one region game or something, so it should be all right.
I would say this.
Those kinds of things happen, by the way, with every program. Discipline happens. In any good program, discipline happens. So we ain't throwing shade.
Regarding the opponent's win percentage on that list, in terms of the top 5 teams, May River's 2nd when it comes to opponent winning percentage.
Right, right behind Bishop England.
Yeah, right behind Bishop England. So I have a feeling those games against Bishop England are going to be exciting to watch.
Yeah.
And
just one left, right? We played them once, and now we got one more. Yeah. Well, I mean, could see them again in the lower state final, I suppose.
Yeah, just Friday.
That would be fun. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, so
Friday at the Tank.
Yeah, Friday at the Tank, we host Bishop England. So last Friday for the Derby, we had over 300 people come out to the game. It was a big crowd, a fun night. So we're hoping to have a similar turnout this Friday. It's going to be a big game. Bishop England hosts Buford tomorrow, and then we travel to Carleton, Bluffton, and Hilton Head. Don't have a region game, but Hilton Head is hosting Christian Academy, I think, tomorrow at the Nest. And then Friday, Bluffton and Hilton Head will play. So while we're playing Bishop England, Hilton Head and Bluffton are playing each other at Bluffton. So you're gonna have 2 big games at Bluffton Friday night.
Yeah, we got
implications for
baseball as well.
playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah, because you got
What
Bluffton and May River baseball Friday
Ooh, that
as
should be
well. So it's going to be a
man, you
fun week.
might be able to try to if they're
Those
at the
are
same spot. You
those
might
are
have
my
to
favorite
hop in.
nights.
Right.
I love those nights where we have 2 or 3 games going on at each campus, it feels like. And I
Yeah.
mean, I love it at our school too in Hardyville. I love it on the nights when we have multiple sports playing at home, and it's just a great
Everywhere, noise
atmosphere.
everywhere. Yeah, so
So great. Lights are on. It's just it's
I
awesome.
think
Just the
I don't know if
atmosphere you
Javon's
hear in
doing
the
our game Friday. I
background,
have to check.
whether if you're on the baseball field, softball field, soccer field, it's a ton of fun. And they're not too. Although Bluffton, there's the complex is designed, so you kind of have to walk around some spots to go back and forth. It's not like
Yeah, baseball and softball are kind of cool where you can watch
yeah.
them.
Oh, they're right next to each other. There's a spot in the baseball field where you can watch the
Uh-huh.
softball.
You sit
game.
up at the top of the baseball
Yeah.
stadium and you can watch both. I used to
And
do
then-
it back
And
in
if
the
you
Island
sit
High.
in our pre-K press box at the tank, you can watch some of the softball and baseball games as well. Keep track of the scores from the press
can.
box that we have.
You can see the scoreboards.
You can see the scoreboard. You can see a softball game, and maybe
Yeah.
some baseball. You can't really see the at bats in baseball. You can see the.
You might
scoreboard.
see the outfielders.
Yeah, you'll see them just hanging out if there's not too many hits, and then down the road you see the lacrosse field if they have anything going on.
Yeah.
You see the lights.
The
You just hear the horn when we score because they have that horn when we score. But
Yeah, I love the foghorn thing.
it's fun when you go to a school complex and you have action going on just because
It's great.
it just creates an atmosphere and people can just come and
Best.
watch multiple sports and support. It's a fun atmosphere when you see those.
I like to mosey around and watch a little bit of all of them. Like I love it, man. I grew up that if there was a game, let's stop and watch it. Like I mean that was the way my grandpa was too, and we would if there was a game going on, we were going, and so I'm still that way. I can't get enough. Good stuff. How about some of the other Loco squads? Who's caught your eye?
Christian Academy is still having a strong season.
Yep.
They're doing really, really well. They played a pretty good schedule. I think they're going to make a deep run. And I don't know what Skeezer region they're in. I don't know if they're 3A, 4A, 2A, or if it depends on game day when they put the playoff bracket. They'll just decide when to put them. But they've done well. John Paul as well on the boys' side. We talked about this in the preseason, but in 1A boys, you have Hardyville, Ridgeland, and Royal Live Oaks right there with each other. So Royal Live Oaks beat Hardyville in penalties. Ridgeland and Royal Live Oaks tied because referees didn't remember that they can't be tied in South Carolina. Don't know what's happening. I asked for an update today, what's going on, and they didn't know. They were like, we haven't heard what's going to happen. I'm like, well, the high school is going to come down at some point and figure out that you have to have an overtime penalty shootout. They were supposed to play tonight. I think Ridgeland and Royal Live Oaks, but got canceled because of the storms. And then Hardyville beat Ridgeland 3-0 the other night. So now you're looking at a scenario where, depending how Ridgeland and Royal Live Oaks ends up, that's going to come down to the wire for those three teams in the region. I still maintain that whoever wins that region is going to have a really good chance at winning Lower State in 1A. You have Creek is having a solid season as well on the boys' side. They just got to win they had 2 region wins, but they're in the same region as Oceanside, and they lost Oceanside 3-0, so it wasn't a bad score.
I saw that.
But they're doing something over there with Coach Jay, what he's doing over there. But on the Skeezer side, Christian Academy Prep is having a great bounce back here. I think they're a year or two away from being back to what they used to be. But Coach O'Grady has done a phenomenal job at Prep with the program he has. We scrimmaged them early in the season. It was like our first scrimmage of the season. I told him then, this team is better than what we saw before the last few years. And just off the attitude alone, the work rate, what they were trying to do. So it's good to see them getting the results that they're getting. But it's been really good.
Bridges guys are looking pretty solid.
Yes,
too, right?
Bridges is top 5 in 2A right now. They are cruising through the region. I was curious to see how they would do against Edisto, because Edisto at that time was undefeated.
They handled Edisto pretty easily.
7-1 or something.
Yeah.
So they, we played them as well in the preseason, but they're going to make a run. So with 2A, it's Magnet is very strong this year. They're 13-0 right now. They've had some good results. So that's going to be a tough matchup. But they should make a deep run as well. And then on the girls' side, Hilton Head has done well so far. You have May River, started rough with a tough non-region schedule, and they're kind of bouncing back now. on the girls' side, Christian Academy girls. I think they played today, right? Did they beat John Paul or lose to John Paul?
They lost to
John
John Paul
6-3. I think that was the only game they got played today. So it's prep girls are still being prep girls. They beat Hilton Head last week, I believe, 1-0 at Hilton Head, which is a big win. So it's been a good season, what we expected. A lot of soccer in the area, but it's been a lot of competitive teams. BA boys are doing good, BA girls as well. So it's been fun to watch, and it's been a good season. Competitive games across the board in the soccer side of things. So I think that'll continue, and hopefully that'll result in some deep playoff runs for a lot of our area teams in every classification this year.
Yeah. Libby's got a question for you, and we may have different answers depending on our schools. Which spring sport has the most social currency in the high school hallway?
So at May River,
whoever won last night is what I would say.
I would say at May River we do, just because we have the best swag. We always have the nicest gear and the best gear. We went Nike this year, and I went out on that all out with the Nike stuff, because it's cheaper, it's better, and whatnot. So I will say that. But at May River, we have a lot of good sports. So like lacrosse has had a solid season. Baseball's had a solid season.
Baseball's definitely got some swagger.
Softball is beating everybody in region by mercy rule. So it's been a very supportive spring. So like this past Friday night, we had the football and wrestling boys come out and support us, because we had Bluffton, a few of the other sports. We have a lot of players who hang out with kids from the other sports. Our boys last Wednesday, when Bishop England came to town after practice, they just walked right on down the road to the baseball game to support our baseball team. So for us, it's supportive, but it's I'm biased. I'm gonna say soccer just because we have the best stuff. But it's been a pretty strong spring season for us, and I think, like you said, Justin, just depends on different schools. It has different.
I mean, in the Ville, I would say, our boys soccer team has the most swagger right now. Softball doesn't have any W's yet, but we definitely got some cred. Like people are taking notice of what we're doing. So there's a little cachet to being on the softball team right now. And when we start winning games, I think we're gonna be right up there with Los Canes boys soccer, with having the most social currency. See, now it depends though. Like Los Canes are mostly Hispanic, so they have a lot of social currency with the Hispanic population, but not as much. Not necessarily with the other populations. So, it's kind of all over the place. And all our kids they all get pretty decent gear to show off in school, because we want everybody to play sports.
Yeah, so. and that's the thing with us. Like we'll I'm big on gear and social media just because the kids love that. So, like I got players who have Nike Tech outfits with our soccer gear. We have all the Nike gear. We got kids walking around the campus with it. I see Libby's cones about the baseball hats. Actually, the hat I wear on game day, that's the baseball team's hat. So there's a tradition that I don't know if it's a regional tradition, but when I was at Buford baseball, when I was a JV coach and with Coach Rollins, Buford baseball every year would give us a hat. Every year, no questions asked. And asked for it to be like, "Hey, coach, you go for boys soccer." So I kept that tradition going here at May River. I go to Coach Smith and be like, "Hey, what we're wearing this year?"
I think Mullis wants to maybe dispute your claim about the soccer team. We'll see. He wants in. We got our buddy Ned Mullis join us. What's up, Mullis?
Bring him on. What's up,
brother?
I
want to talk to the football analyst. The football. That's funny. Football.
Butch has been a supporter of mine, A1 since day one. I love that dude.
Hey, I don't know much about soccer, but I knew you were coaching, and you could tell it from the first day. I don't know. I really couldn't understand it. Didn't know what y'all were doing, but they were listening, and y'all were doing good.
That's right. You know what it looks like? It's like the old the Supreme Court justice who said about pornography. I don't know how to define it, but I know it when I see it.
I used to go watch Cage, and we'd call it the skybox seating. I'd sit out in the truck and over at John Paul and Park, and on those Sunday afternoon travel games, we call it the skybox. No, man, we got some cool stuff too now. Our the baseball, the lacrosse team's got the most cool stuff.
They do. Their helmets are.
They got the
so
shiny
fresh.
helmets, but when it comes to like in school gear and game day gear, I will.
I don't know, man. But you know what? If we were talking about it, we got a good color combo. Number one.
Yeah, we do.
And we've got, they look. I'm not big on it. I mean, I'd just take a couple sets of uniforms and go play if it was up to me. But the kids like it, and it ain't about us. It's about the kids.
Exactly.
And they like a little swag. We did a little City Connect last year.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of ripped off the Dodgers a little bit. And about the time we get all our uniforms squared away, we switched to Nike and got to start over.
Right.
But
we're Nike right now. We got a nice orange Canes for home, and we got a nice white the Ville for the road. And
Mullis, have you seen their baseball jersey in Hardyville?
Looking at black.
Oh, that baseball jersey guy is clean. It's so nice. That green.
I mean, you got to rip off Miami down there, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, we're the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Of course.
I would say our baseball away jerseys are better than our home jerseys.
The Ville, the white the Ville jersey.
White.
Yes. The white one is beautiful.
Old English Miami across those baseball uniforms. That's a hard uniform to beat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They ain't changed in since Bertman and them were there. It's been 40 years. I mean, those are pretty slick uniforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, baseball. For me, baseball always has the best hats. That's why I always get it. I don't order me a hat.
We just go ahead and order an extra dozen for the coaches.
Yep, I go to Smith. And Smith already knows. I'm like, hey, I'm waiting. I get my hat. Last Friday, you saw
the
me
ones this year. I give it, man. Them Nike hats are pretty good. They're comfortable.
Mm-hmm. They're comfortable. Yeah. Everything Nike's better than what we have with Under Armour. Cheaper, better, more comfortable, better looking, just overall.
We do some Evo Shield stuff too for our guys. I mean, baseball's a little different. We do a couple different stores. You can get what you want. We don't make you get a whole lot of anything, but you can get what you want.
Right. Hidden jackets and stuff like that.
Good Lord. They go up there, they look like a damn knight. I mean, they got so much armor on when you go up there. I mean,
can kids wear hats in your school? Nah, no. You can't wear nothing on your head, not even a hood.
No, I'm talking about when they
wear a sweatshirt with a hood.
They'll have so much Evo Shield and stuff on. Cannell comes back. He's got about 15 pieces of stuff with him when he comes back.
Oh, yeah, I'm over all of that. It's too much. It's too much. I mean, maybe if the guy's throwing 95, but come on.
Like the other night.
Like that Bishop England
kid, right? Face the dude from Bishop England who was cranking it up there about 93, didn't you?
Hey, I knew it was going to be a different night when I saw a bunch of the MLB scouts in town at Landshark Park not wanting to play golf. So, they're usually just blowing through to play golf. They were stopping at the house the other night.
My kids were talking about it like, yeah, Bishop England has an MLB prospect. I'm thinking they're just blowing smoke. I'm like, no. MLB scouts come to all his games. They're going to be here tonight.
But
I know who y'all are talking about.
But the Sharks got him out of the game and banged up the bullpen the other night.
Yeah,
that was the only one you got off of him, but it was
Schmidt was like, yep. And when Prosper was like, holy crap, okay, well that's
got to wait him out. I mean, he's on a pitch limit.
It reminds me of when James Island came to town last year. I know we beat him last year, but that starter that they had for them last year was pumping low 90s, I'm pretty sure.
I went to that game.
Yeah, I mean,
the difference is now, catcher, right?
Guys can hit fastballs. I don't really care how hard you throw it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the pitching machines are so much better than everything now. Right. They can get after a fastball now. Those breaking balls still are the difference maker.
That's right.
That's what I need to get at Hardyville, man. I need to get a pitching machine at Hardyville. I know it's expensive, but we could use one these days.
That's what you are.
Yeah,
that's why they have you, right?
You're not expensive.
I heard he tried to throw Rayleigh some BP yesterday. It didn't go so good. Or today, it didn't go so good. He didn't get me to hit. He didn't get me to hit. You got to take a little off and put it in there and let him hit it, man.
Oh, I did in the end. I just thought I could see what I could do against Rayleigh, see if I could scare him a little bit.
Yeah, you're supposed to try to strike him out in BP.
Yeah.
But I can't hit a baseball. I'm not even going to try. That's a whole different.
Oh, Wes, you're on mute, Bubba.
I can't keep the soccer ball either. It's terrible.
No, my boys last year we went
Russ
to
was
Charleston.
trying to say something, but he's on mute.
We went to a park and they had a batting cage. So a few of my boys tried it. Now the most it was like 45 miles an hour, and they were like, "This is really fast." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, baseball ain't for us guys. If 45 miles an hour is fast, you got kids throwing 60 plus, and you guys are scared about this 45 mile per hour. Yeah, we're not playing baseball.
60 plus. That's at like 12.
That's like middle school level.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. I did scare him with one. I got pretty close.
Wild
to him.
thing, Max Arraj. But Mullis, you guys got one off of Bishop England. You played, that's the only team you played in region play so far. So you came out of the gates with, probably the top team. But looking around, Beaufort sweeping Hilton Head was a little bit eye raising. I know Hilton Head's young, but
I've seen them play.
The sweep shocked me a little bit, and then Bluffton taking 3 off Colleton County, which is never easy to do. They'll usually fight one out of you.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen. That's the only 2 teams I haven't seen play. Beaufort's good now. Don't put the car.
No, I know. Yeah, no, I just I don't know. They're better.
They're just solid. They don't beat themselves.
Mm.
They're
so much like James Island, right? I mean, they're very similar.
No,
they don't play. Well, they don't play a similar style at all.
Don't put the car. Whoa, no. They ain't no James Island.
No, I'm not saying they're as good as them. I'm saying they're like them in the sense that they're.
I don't know. James Island was tough. James Island could beat you a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
If they needed to bang, man, if they needed to bang, they could bang. If they needed to run, they could run. If they needed to play,
I'm just glad they're out of our region now, because there were times where we just continued to run the playoffs, and they ended our season. It seemed like every year.
Yeah.
At least they were like.
You give us the 9 best guys in Beaufort County, and we go in some seasons too.
Yeah, fair.
Right.
I ain't crying over spilled milk, but facts are facts.
So I'm gonna ask this, and I'm gonna head out because it's baseball talk. So with the baseball, the SCBCA rankings came out. How is it that there's not one team from our region in the top 10?
I don't know. I mean,
a good question.
We talked about that. Beaufort, us and Beaufort went to the
Gilbert thing.
Gilbert tournament.
Yeah.
And we lost. I mean, we didn't get in the finals because of some run differential.
Yeah.
But I mean, we smacked everybody up there, but the other low country team. The 3 best teams up there were us, Bishop England, and Beaufort, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't understand it. And we've tried to combat this from the start. We play everybody that'll play us. If you're 3 hours away here, we'll go play you. And we beat AC Flora, we beat James Island. You listen to one of the podcasts, one of the recruiting service podcasts had us. Us. One of them had us predicted in the state finals. Another one had Beaufort in the state finals.
Okay.
So I mean, everybody else knows. I just don't understand. I think there's just a lot of high school coaches that I'm not sure that. I think all the high school coaches get to vote on each division.
Mm.
And I mean, because it's like a high school, just everybody puts a vote in.
Yeah.
And I'm just not sure. Like I said, I don't know. Man, I if they play their game, I'm not scared of any of them.
Yeah.
But it's just it just I don't know, man. It's hard to get. You just got to keep going up to Columbia and beating people. And,
I mean that's you have to say about like just scheduling tougher competition earlier on, because I feel like
we can't
talk about basketball as well, but there's levels to the amount of competition that you see in the playoffs. High school, you need to test yourself against quality teams from out of the area. I mean that's incredibly important, and more so even for baseball and softball. I mean, especially baseball. There's a lot of.
Well, I mean, and a lot of that's changed now too. That RPI is a real deal.
Yeah.
And you got to be a little bit mindful of that. And I don't know if Misa goes through it or not. We can't get anybody to play us.
Oh yeah.
We try. I mean, first of all, nobody wants to come down here.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, so you always go on the road. You don't get a home and home. It's just really hard to. And then let's break.
Baseball RPI.
Well, I tell you what you don't get, and what really makes me mad. All right, where's Gilbert on there? They're number 4.
And we beat them 7-3.
Hey, you know who that one is there? Is a 10-run rule job from the Sharks. I mean.
Yeah.
Well, the number 15 Sharks.
I mean, they're behind. Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah.
And so, like, something with the RPI that I've noticed
Bluffton's
this year.
12?
Yeah, something with the RPI I've noticed this year.
Who did they beat?
If like Butch said, if you're playing tough competition and you're going 50% with them, win one, lose whatever, it hurts your RPI. So what's going to happen next year is you're going to see teams that like we struggle getting games locally because teams don't want to play us. So like Ashley Ridge this year, Ashley Ridge every year has no problem playing us. Oceanside, because no one in Charleston plays them in soccer. We're the only ones that are willing to play them. They have no problem coming to us and us going to them if need be. But like when you're talking to other area teams, they don't want to come down here. They don't want to play you because they won't respect you in the state stuff, whether it's selecting players for all state or for the North-South game or for the rankings. But they absolutely will respect you with the schedule when they refuse to play you. So when you look at we're 5-4. So we're at 55%, overall. But when you look at the strength of schedule and max press for our baseball team, it's one of the top strength of schedules in 4A. And
we can't schedule any tougher than we schedule.
Yeah, and so like that.
And I mean, like you look at Beaufort right there. They're 17. They lost twice to James Island, twice to Oceanside, and then
I don't understand. So I think Bluffton's benefiting from some opponents that are playing tough schedules.
Yeah, but their opponents
but
I
don't understand. Like, so they lost to Pinewood, they beat Low Country Leadership, they lost to Cane Bay, they beat McIntosh County Academy, they lost to Paul VI, they lost to Frederica, they beat Woodland, and they swept Colleton.
What Bluffton is doing is they're banking on their overall percentage.
The win percentage.
They're 7-4, so that's 64%. But look at their opponents; it's 47%. So their opponent is under 500, and their opponents is barely 500. So that'll even out once you go through the first facet of region play. I know what baseball is different because they play the same team in the 3-game series in 1 week. But, assuming that we beat Bluffton
the formula, I guess in
basketball,
the formula opponent's win percentage is weighted higher than the other one in your win percentage, the opponent's win percentage. I'm not sure what the formula is.
I think that's true here too, right?
Well,
Isn't it like 50, 30, 20 or something?
Yeah.
Look at the number for both Beaufort and May River compared to Bluffton in terms of opponents percentage. I mean, that's
right. Significantly.
Beaufort has the toughest.
So you're right.
Beaufort has the highest opponent percentage winning in our region. If you look at teams here, higher than Bishop England. Look at Gilbert.
Yeah,
Gilbert's
this is a little skewed
because they're 12-1, but their opponents' winning percentage is 43%. But because they're 12-1, that's boosting them.
My guess,
but their region's not very good.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a little skewed, especially when it's not reflecting all of region play. Because, like you said, Bluffton's going to have to play a murderer's row coming up here, and they're going to that win percentage is going to go down, and that impacts. The thing about the strength of schedule stuff is it's not going to shift as much over the course of the season. It's going to stay pretty steady, and it's not weighted as heavy. So it's really the winning percentage that ends up carrying the most weight.
Well, and I tell you what else too, man. It's these 3-game sets are tough. I love it, but they're tough.
Definitely.
More strain on pitching when you got 3 games too. Big difference.
You got to go.
They are tough. No, you got to have some depth. You got to have some dudes.
Like Bishop England, they've got 3 guys. That's about what they got.
Yeah.
And did you know they started the game in Beaufort tonight? Did y'all know?
Yeah. 2-0, top of the first.
Holy
crazy!
I
checked the weather early in the afternoon. It was like 90 to 100% chance of rain.
Yeah,
what are we doing here?
Well, I will say,
when you were at school when that thing came, were you at school when that thing came through?
Yeah.
I was not.
I was
I was
here.
at
Good
Hardyville when it
Lord.
came
I've
through.
seen hurricanes that didn't do that.
Well,
Oh,
it
no,
did
no,
some damage. It did
I
some
was home in
damage down
Bristol.
by
No,
Alljoy.
And it got
I'll
pretty
say
nasty.
power almost came out, and power
Yeah.
rarely ever goes out around here. But I swear the power was flickering off at
Yeah.
one point.
Yeah.
Well, down Old Town, Alljoy area, I saw some trees were down and a power pole was leaning over, and they got it pretty serious down there. And I think out in like
May River
Effingham County,
Road.
they got it pretty
Yeah,
good
May
too.
River Road has a tree
Cool.
down.
Yeah.
17 has a tree down, but yeah,
it got pretty rough while I was at Hardyville too. I was putting stuff away from my baseball team's practice because we were supposed to be playing
Yeah.
a game today up
Right.
in Bamberg, but that got
Us
canceled.
too.
We just practiced instead. And all of a sudden, it started getting real ugly
Yeah.
as I was
I-
leaving Hardyville, and I was like,
I thought
"Man,
about hauling everything out for practice, and then I thought about hauling it all back in before it rained again, and decided we was taking the day off.
They
well,
have
that
a
was the
day
thing.
off.
We had hauled it out.
We
as
didn't
I
have
got
school
to
today,
Hardyville.
so it was going to be a logistical nightmare to
Yeah.
get everybody back anyway, even for the game. Like, but they
I
were going to
mean,
make
we
it
hauled it
happen. But
out.
I was just like, no, we needed
We hauled
Mother
out.
Nature told us day off. Take
Yeah.
the day off.
We hauled it out, and then at the last minute possible, Bamberg called us and said, "Yeah, we're gonna postpone this game." And I was like, "Y'all could have told us this like 2 hours ago, and you didn't."
Oh, it was
know,
that
that-
late before they called it?
Yeah, dude.
We called ours at like
took too
1:30.
long. Yeah, we called. I think we called at 12 to say what's going on, and then they hadn't given us an answer yet, so we had to wait.
Well, I
until,
mean,
like,
we were. I mean, it was a coin flip at 1:00. I'm telling you, it was. Hey, we might be able to get this thing in. It's 50-50. And then, we just decided, nah, not worth it.
the
Because
reason I knew,
like I said
the
earlier,
reason
if you postpone, the worst case scenario is it doesn't rain
yeah.
and you
the reason
postpone
I
it.
knew
Oh
we
well.
probably weren't.
But if you try to play it, there's a
Right.
lot of worse scenarios that could come into play, including downpour starts at 6 right after you get warmed up and about to play.
Well, what I would say is the fact that we would have probably, like, right around the time it would have started up at Bamberg, we would have been on the
Yeah,
road because
I
it's
don't
a
play
2-hour
that.
trip from Hardyville. We would have been on the road while all
Eh,
this weather.
That's
Yeah,
not
that
quite
bus
true.
would have caught that wind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would have
I-
been bad. And
the
that's what
bus
I told our
already-
girls. I said the biggest concern is, will we get through the game, and then what do they have to drive home in
Mhm.
back
Hey,
to
man,
Hampton?
the bus already blew a tire last week. I was not.
Bro, dude,
fan.
our first road trip, Hardyville softball first road trip. We are cruising down 95, and we blow a tire. I mean, blew it. And my man did a phenomenal job. Your guy, Misa, your guy from Kingdom Touch, he did a phenomenal job of keeping us safe, getting us off onto the shoulder, and they got us a new bus, and we got on down the road to Hampton. But yeah, it was quite an adventure. The girls were like, "Oh my God, I thought it was a gunshot!" And then the tire went rolling down the road next to us, and that got a good laugh out of them. Oh man, you can't make up the stuff that happens on road trips.
Hey, before Misa scoots, I had to ride up to Charlotte today, so I'm sports radioed out. Let's get somebody on the outside looking in. What do you think about what's the deal with the Yankees bats? What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Look, so as somebody who is not a big baseball guy,
The torpedo
Yeah, that's what I
bat.
want to see.
the torpedo bats. Look, the most fun I ever enjoyed with baseball was when these dudes were jacking up steroids and hitting home runs. I don't have the connection for the sanctity of the game and the history and all that. I respect it to the fullest. I really do. But I'm here for entertainment. So if these torpedo bats are going to get me 3 to 4 home runs a game, I might actually go to a baseball game. Now, I still want to go to a MLB game. That's my bucket list. I want to go, but I want to go
Have
with
you not
somebody.
been?
No,
Come with
it's-
us.
Oh God, we're doing
This is
it.
the Loco road trip.
I need
Oh.
to go with the right
So
people.
what's the best first ballpark to go to if you're going to your first Major League Baseball game?
I need to go with the right people. I want to go, but I go with the right people. It's got to be a fun experience. I don't want to be there taking a nap.
You got to come
watching
with
the game.
us. You got to come with us.
Now, I did visit Truist outside. It's a beautiful park, but I know there's better. But yeah, I want to go to a baseball game, but I will gladly, Butch, I will get in your car and we will ride.
We're gonna do that, kid.
There aren't many better. There
We're
really aren't
talking-
many better for just experiencing a game. I mean, it's a really great venue. It's just if you want to be connected to something more historical with the game, you got to go to Fenway or
Fenway.
Wrigley or
Yeah.
Like,
maybe.
And like when we went to Chicago, I drove by Wrigley and I drove,
Yeah.
you know, like by that's not Comiskey Park.
That's
anymore.
the other ball. Like
So
yeah, that's a classic. But yeah, there are a few that I'd love to go to. Wrigley's up there, but there's
Hey, man,
another
ain't
one.
Nothing better than opening
Yeah,
up.
well,
Oh, I want to go to all of them except for the.
yeah,
A's.
well,
More
that's
than
that's
A's
the
ballpark.
yeah.
Here's what I'll say: wherever y'all take me,
That's
make
why
sure it's good food because I'm a foodie.
Oh,
Make sure it's
there will
good
be.
food. We're here
Oh,
for a good time.
you see, there's so
and-
much on social media now about the new ballpark food this year.
And
Oh, yeah.
there better be torpedo bats, and they better be facing the Brewers
Hey,
pitching
I
squad.
tell you what,
Because I think it's most of the Brewers
Tell you
pitchers.
what.
I think it might be too.
Home run.
Misa,
I think
7:05
that's
start in
fine.
Yankee Stadium, and the bars open at 8 in the morning.
I will say this to you though, Misa. I did see regarding torpedo bats that the Braves have ordered some torpedo bats.
I
out.
bet they
Well,
have.
that was the whole thing. But
If
here,
it's
everybody's
legal,
missing the
go
picture
for
on
it.
this. Did y'all see the specifications when they had them out today?
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I did.
Holy smokes!
It's
42 inches.
great. 42 inches.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
that's
Can't
the,
be
that's the
over
maximum
42
length.
inches.
That's the maximum.
Can you
length.
imagine swinging a 42-inch bat?
That's
My
a foot
God.
longer than
Whoa.
what you
There's
see
only
in
one
Florida.
player I would ever see there's a possibility of hitting with a 42-inch bat, and that would be Aaron Judge, being
Yeah.
the biggest player I've
Sure.
ever
But
seen.
still, what's he swinging?
You ain't
Not
getting
close to
nobody. You
that.
ain't nobody getting around more than 30. I think
Hold on,
Judge
let me-
uses a 35.
Look this up.
Yeah, 35's. I can't imagine anybody
I mean,
swinging
and
lower
look,
than that.
I'm here for entertainment. So if it's gonna get more home runs and more hits, I'm here for it. But I know that I am a complete disconnected fan of baseball that doesn't go deep into the history and tradition. So I love Sammy and McGuire. I love Bonds. I think they should all be in the Hall of Fame because everyone was juicing up in that era. And
Sure
if
was.
these torpedo bats are going to give us 60, 70 home runs a season by 3 or 4 players going for it,
I will say, I think one
I
of the
mean, these have
magical.
been used since last season, though. Because
Before that-
John
before
Carlos
that.
Stanton used one of them during the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
During the
They've been
playoffs,
around
and
for
they
4 or
won
5
the
years.
The Brewers
there
did
was-
give
there
up
was something
11
crazy
today,
about
so there is
growing up
something to the
in
Brewers.
that era.
By
in
the way,
2000s,
Aaron
where you
Aaron
had-
Judge swings a 34-inch bat.
Wait, Wes was speaking.
Well, I just
Uh,
think there's something memorable about growing up in the era of McGuire and Sosa.
Oh
and
yeah,
Chris Bonds
Oh.
is in there as well.
it
But
was magical.
yeah,
Caminetti,
it was insane.
he was
And
another
don't
one.
get me wrong, I'm
Because
here
you-
for a good pitching matchup. Like when I was watching baseball younger, I was a Braves guy, so I like John Smoltz, Greg Maddux, and Tom Glavine,
Mhm.
and I'm here for that. But like,
Steve Avery.
I'm here for the swagger, the attitude. Like I love the fact. Have you ever seen that clip where like Maddox got
the
Bonds or
chicks-
something? He was
chicks
like, I
give
saw
the
this.
Chicks give the long ball.
Yeah, like I'm
No,
here for that kind of stuff. I'm here for a good quality, high level matchup. Even if it's a 1-0 game, if it's really
Yeah.
great pitching. But if I'm here for entertainment, like if you're gonna get me to go to more baseball games, I know me. I have to have a good time.
Yeah.
So don't take me to a boring 1-0 3 p.m. game at Fenway. Then I'm never gonna go and watch a baseball game. Take me to a freaking torpedo bat off where it's 17 to 15, or whatever the
Well,
case may be. As long as I
Sunday
have
night,
a good
Sunday.
drinks and a good
Yeah,
time. Therefore,
USCB second game of that doubleheader, Bubba. Head on
Yeah,
out.
NAIA
Yeah.
Sundays,
Hey,
baby.
you get
Take the
penalized
over.
more for steroids now.
That's
You
an
get
experience.
penalized more for steroids now. I just saw today.
Yeah,
one
with
of
that-
the Braves players
like
got
80
suspended
games.
80
I,
games for
Yeah, so
PEDs.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
log off, but y'all let me know when y'all taking me for a baseball trip so I can let my wife know
Yeah.
that I'm being kidnapped
This
by
summer, bro.
it's
We
happening.
should do it
White
this
dudes.
summer.
That,
I'll
that's
be
gotta
okay.
be something
Yeah.
that happens at some point. Well,
Tell your
obviously,
girl what your
speaking
favorite
of
redneck.
baseball trip, we need to
There
get
you
ready
go.
for World Cup trip next year.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh,
We
that's
do.
a good point.
Butch, I need to get you to an Atlanta United game. You'll love it.
I've been to one.
Powell
It's
wants Griffey Jr.
fantastic.
back, and Libby says
been
he's the
to-
GOAT.
Yeah,
He
Misa,
has the
I've been to
prettiest
it.
swing ever.
I've been to an Atlanta United game because I'm an Atlanta United fan. Fantastic
Yes.
atmosphere. There's
I went to
there's
Charlotte and
nothing
watched
like
them.
that. That is
Oh
crazy.
yeah, no. At Atlanta is different. Here's Misa's parting shot. The first game I ever owned, a sports game, when I came to America, was Ken Griffey Jr. baseball. when you had the music playing. Dun, 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 dun,
Super
dun,
Nintendo.
Steroid,
Yeah.
yes. And he hit that home run.
Yeah.
See, I know a little bit about baseball, guys. I have some deep cut history here.
That's
You know,
swinging the
I can
game.
name you the '95 Braves team. You know, a little bit. You know, the crime dog McGriff.
Oh
hey,
yeah.
I'm here for
Yes.
that kind of stuff.
Griff.
But yeah, I'm here for a baseball game. I want to go to an MLB park so bad, but I'm gonna have to go with somebody who knows and respects the game because I'll be asking questions like just I'm a sports guy. So
Yeah.
y'all let me know. That's my parting shot. Y'all have
We're
a
in.
good night. Let me know when I'm getting kidnapped. So let my wife know. Butch, love you. Always good seeing you. Tomorrow, Friday night. Soccer everywhere and baseball.
Friday night. It's
So
going
tomorrow
down
we got
for
Mirror.
real.
I predict Mirror Baseball will win 10-0 because it's Bluffton.
Oh,
I didn't do that.
trolling. Misa B trolling. All right, Bubba. Be good. We'll talk to you
See
real
you guys
soon.
later.
Hey, man.
That's Misa Garzone. He be trolling. He loves.
You didn't
he
hear
loves
that
to
from me. That
spark
was
the
Misa.
rivalry. That was all Misa. That was all Misa. Those kids over at Bluffton are playing good ball though, man. They're young.
I haven't
but
seen
they're
them.
playing
You can ask me about anybody else in the region, but I haven't seen Trollin. But I can about tell you what Jamel's going to do a good job.
Mhm.
And
I think it's his last year.
Mhm.
Coach
Really?
Myers, yeah, he's taking an assistant principal job, and
Good
he
for
just
him.
thinks it's going to be too much for him. So he's
How
looking
long
for
has he
somebody to
been
hand
with
it off to, and you know they have great facilities over there, and a good
I know
foundation.
the
So,
Bubba Dorman vouches for you. You're a baseball guy.
amen. Well, and I told Chris when he told me that, I said, look, all of my old head baseball guys that I trust say nothing but good things about Jamel and the job he's done over there. So, and he sent me pictures of their dugout and clubhouse, and I was like, holy cow, they've got beautiful facilities over there.
Well, they got a big old indoor facility and
Yeah, indoor
mean,
hitting facility.
it's a nice gig.
Crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Well, what else? What else you seen, Mullis? Anything
I
big?
saw
We're about to
Hilton Head.
round this thing up pretty soon.
I watched Hilton Head and Bishop England play. Hilton Head's young, but they're good.
Mhm.
I don't know.
They
depth
stole one
and-
off Bishop England.
Yeah, I saw the first game. Bishop England's got 3 good arms.
Yeah.
I mean, good. The Grist Miller guy's good. He's going to Newberry, and then you got the big boy going to Coastal or the Yankees. He told me Boros is his agent.
What?
That's what he told me after the
In
game.
high school?
Ooh,
Yeah,
Holy
you can
cow.
have an agent now. And
that's crazy.
No, but it's crazy to have Boris as your
it's a
agent
family
in high
friend.
school.
Nothing says Daniel Allen like your family friend is Scott Boros. But and then we got some good arms too. Y'all, Max Van, I don't know if y'all saw that game. the other
Oh,
night.
I
Max-
saw Max.
On Saturday.
Max
He was
shoved.
Max
yeah.
Van Esselston was shoving against
Oh.
Bishop England the other night.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was 83 pitches. His 2 walks were the intentional walks to Weiner, and he was solid. And I can't let y'all know who was on the phone, but Max is getting some significant interest from some pretty cool schools right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
That
the-
doesn't surprise me. I mean, I saw him play
Yeah.
on Saturday. I'm like, dude, this dude can't not hit a baseball, man.
Well, he went 5 for 5 Saturday.
Yeah, he did. I was at that
Yeah,
game on Saturday. I
and-
watched that game and how it unfolded in the end. That was the.
And not only did he
craziest
throw
thing
that
I've seen.
84 pitch CG with 8 strikeouts the other night, but he also went 2 for 4 with a couple RBIs in that game too. And then my guy Jordan Reed, boy,
Yeah.
he is swinging.
He's getting there.
good. He's getting there.
He's getting there.
No,
Aaron
I don't
Guthrie.
think Max will get drafted out of high school, but he's going to go play college ball somewhere.
Oh no,
Definitely
he's not
strong.
getting drafted.
No, we ain't had one of those in a long minute.
No,
Oh, God.
Lawson and Kelly?
out of high school.
Oh, Majinski did. No, Majinski, he would have, but didn't.
Yeah, and that's the same thing as
By
this
the
kid.
way, Majinski is right now. He's the 5th starter for Pittsburgh.
He's starting tonight, ain't he?
He did
started
start tonight. Yeah,
It's
unfortunately
pretty
took the
doggone
L.
good,
But,
boys.
yeah, took the L tonight, but I hope that he's going to
I
continue.
still say the most him and Matt Clark.
Yeah.
Matt Clark.
Looking in the
Yeah.
play-
Matt Clark, our first ever guest in the LowcoSports Lowdown.
And then coming back,
Yeah.
and they're warming up for Clemson and Carolina as freshmen. That was about as impressive a thing as you're going to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Juju's
That's
at
a true freshman.
Juju, yes.
Juju's
who
at
I
FIU now,
missed that
right?
on
Oh, is
senior
he?
year because of COVID. That
Yeah,
was
he
that
sure
Hilton
is.
team was going to be really good that year in
Wait, where is
2020.
Juju?
Juju's at FIU.
Is
I
he?
just found him.
Man,
yeah.
that Hilton team was going to be really good that year, that COVID year. That was
The best pitching performance probably I've ever seen in high school was Darren Horn and Juju Majinski.
Whoa,
Yeah.
boy, Jaron Horn was tremendous.
So Juju's pitching at FIU. He's throwing
Horn,
9
is
and a
Horn done?
third.
Is he done, or is he still going?
Who's
Horn,
that?
he's senior. He's doing great.
He's
Yep.
senior. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, he's close to being finished
Yeah, he's
up.
doing good.
Yeah.
He had some arm trouble last year, but he's doing good. Bennett's doing good. Bennett's doing great at North Greenville. And has anybody checked out my boy Lehman's stats?
No, but you've sent
Dane
me
Lehman's
updates
hitting
on
388
Lehman.
going into last weekend, and I think he went like 8 for 12.
Nice.
it. Let's go.
Holy crap!
He
Very
killed
nice.
the Citadel last weekend.
Yeah, well, the Citadel has not been great this year.
Now actually, Max, they're way better.
Yeah,
That-
Lehman's leading the team at 384.
Yeah,
Jeez.
something crazy.
Yeah, with a
That's
521
crazy.
on base.
And look
7
at his
doubles,
slugging.
a triple.
He's hitting like,
His
he's
slug-
right at
He's
1,000.
plugging 488, so his OPS is
But his
right at
OPS is
1,000.
high.
Over half the time he's getting on base. That's insane.
That's great. 14 for 18 on steals too.
I don't know if y'all seen James lately, but he looks
Whew.
the part.
That
He
boy
is-
can play.
Oh, man.
He has got big.
Yeah, it fit.
And you know who else is killing it? And you kind of forget he's still in college because of COVID. Paul Winland's killing it.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is. Is he
Winland,
still at
yeah.
Georgia Gwinnett?
Yeah, and they're like 30-3.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, let me see his stats because you're right. He is killing it.
Georgia.
They got a heck of a program up there.
They
Paul's
do.
hitting Paul's hitting 418 with a 1248 OPS.
A bunch of home runs too, isn't
He's
it?
got 9 doubles, a
He's got
triple,
9
5
home runs.
homers. 5 homers, 37 RBIs.
That's insane.
Yeah, he's not striking out a lot either. He's got
He can
26
just hit,
walks, 18 strikeouts, and 91 at bats. 545 on base, and he's 13 for 15 on steals.
That's impressive.
He's a guy who's got a chance to keep playing, maybe, right? I mean, I don't know. It's hard as a position player from NAIA, but gosh,
you'd
he's got some
be-
juice.
Paul Will's 23. I think Paul.
Yeah, the age maybe.
Yeah, you're starting to get at that. You know,
Because it'd be a log road.
he'd have to hit for a bunch of power.
Yeah,
But
it's
he'll
a
definitely
long
get to
road.
play some indie ball or something.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
He'll probably be a party animal.
No, you're right. That would be perfect for him. Honestly, he should be a party animal. You're not even kidding. That's a great. I mean, that's
Hey man,
about as good.
all these
Hey,
guys.
hey,
You
wanna
don't
do
as
get
a
drafted. That's
baseball
about as
lifer.
good a gig as it gets.
As
don't
a
get a
baseball
signing
lifer,
bonus, I should
JJ, you
say.
never would have guessed where we'd be going
No.
now with the bananas and the party animals. You never would have guessed. Like it's awesome.
I mean,
but,
you
like,
could have, but you would have been
Yeah,
called
but,
an
like-
idiot. You know. like-
right. I mean, it's basically if you can imagine.
Oh,
Harlem
look at
Globetrotters
this.
have been around for a while.
we're
just didn't know
celebrating
big-
Max's birthday today.
Oh boy.
He's muted himself so he can't hear the
Hey, happy
song, but they're
birthday,
singing
Max
happy birthday to
Arraj.
Max. We've got a cake. He's blowing
God.
out the
Smoke
candles.
detector going off.
That's hilarious. He muted it so he wouldn't hear the happy birthday song.
Sorry. Shut
What a-
the door.
What a
All right.
what a killjoy.
Come
Muting
on.
it so we didn't get to hear it. Now we're
Well,
gonna have
I
to
didn't know
sing
what was
it.
going on. All of a sudden, they opened the door. I was like, "What's going on here?" I didn't know. All of a sudden, they brought in a cake full
You
of candles.
want to
Like,
know the truth? Today's been so long, I forgot it was still your birthday. I wish you a birthday, happy birthday, like 2 days ago in my life.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I
Birthday
honestly forgot
gift.
it was my birthday today.
Look, you
until
and I,
Justin
man.
texted me this morning.
Yeah,
March
you
comes
bookends
in
the
like a
month.
JJ and out like a Max.
Well, no, it's bookending the month, and then mine's in the middle.
yeah, yeah.
I know.
Amen.
I
Let him on Mark. And Marcus too, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't he a March PJ too?
We
Everybody.
got
Don't
some
focus on
crazy
actually
stuff
playing
coming
a
up,
baseball
boys. It's
game.
getting ready to get busy.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
bro.
is. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
getting into it. Ton of baseball, ton of
Yeah,
softball,
hey,
ton of
once you get into
soccer.
April, like you got lacrosse playoffs starting in like 2 weeks, and then you really get
Right.
into it.
And the Heritage.
Heritage
And
will
the
be here
Heritage,
before you know
indeed.
it.
Yeah.
Masters is next
That's
week.
it.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Masters is next week. It comes up
Yeah,
quickly.
we're 2 weeks out from the Heritage, man.
Yeah, we're 2 weeks out,
Indeed,
basically, from the
that is
Heritage.
true. It comes.
Yeah.
Comes and
I
goes
knew
quick.
that, but I didn't know it,
Right. No, it sometimes will creep up
You know,
on
you got to always remember when it hits Bay Hill, when they play at Bay Hill,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
might as well
Yeah.
get
Well,
ready. 'cause it's
when
coming.
you hear the Masters promos and you're watching the NCAA
Right.
tournament, then you realize.
You get a little
And you know-
PTSD.
And you know, we actually kind of got a little lucky this year because the Masters is late. You know,
Well,
like
Easter's late. Easter's
Easter's late.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
I feel like they've
So-
got an extra tournament in there because they usually go from Houston to the Masters, but they went from Houston to Dallas, or they go to Houston this week or whatever. I mean, there was something in
another one?
between.
Well, yeah, Houston this week, and next week is the Masters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they had that other Texas tournament in between.
Yeah, they did.
I haven't
But-
been keeping up that much. I hear Kornheiser talk
I need
about
to
it on
start. I need
Mondays,
to
and
start
that's
brushing
about
up
it.
on just what's going on in the tour because it is
Yeah.
coming up quickly.
Well, I will say Scotty Scheffler has announced he's coming back for the
Yeah,
Heritage.
he's coming back.
He
And
confirmed it
Akshay.
this week.
Akshay's coming.
Well, when you're an elevated event,
You know,
you know
It
that's hard to
most
turn
of them's
up.
coming. Most
Yeah.
of them's coming.
Top
Most of them
Um,
are.
30 are on.
It's
mine.
it's the defending champs normally come. Most
Yeah.
of them. I mean, it's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
much.
always.
yeah.
Almost.
Well, I mean,
always.
that's if we're talking just a regular old year.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that you're in this
Well, now
elevated event, they all come.
it's a
They're not hurt. They're
marquee
coming.
event. It's a marquee event now, so it's
Right.
Well, it's
You-
not only that; it's a no cuts.
right. No cuts. That's true.
Man, all
Guaranteed
you gotta do
money.
is show up, and you get
Yeah.
what $500,000 to show up, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Close to it. It's a fair amount of money you get just to
That
show up and
purse
play 4 rounds. It's
Yeah,
nice.
get paycheck guaranteed.
Ooh, I am pumped for Happy Gilmore too. Actually, I'm pretty into it. Sad Bob Barker won't be in it though. Or Carl
Yeah.
Weathers. Carl Weathers.
For
Rest
Carl
in
Weathers,
peace.
man.
Rest in power,
But-
Carl Weathers.
We do
All right,
have,
boys. Let me save it for parting thoughts. We got to wrap this thing up. We owe some sponsor reads. We got our Loco Booster Club, Hudson Seafood House on the docks. They're in our Loco Booster Club. I know Mullis has been known to frequent that place and
Ooh, Oyster
get his
Po'
po' boy
Boy.
Andrew's way.
Andrew's
Great,
way.
great place for seafood, sunsets, and maybe a couple cocktails, Mullis, over on Hilton Head.
No problem with it.
Presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. Got a new episode, hopefully coming to you this week. We gotta find a way to get it done. New sponsor, Hilton Head Furniture. They got great handcrafted furniture made right up the road in Hickory, North Carolina. That's not too far from home, is it, Ned?
About an hour and a half.
Yeah, not too far. They make it up there. They bring it down here. They sell it to you. It stays in your house for a long time because they have quality stuff over at Hilton Head Furniture. We've also got Base Hit Life, baseball and softball themed apparel. Go over to basehitlife.com and live your best base hit life. Dr. Ambrose Cole, our official chiropractor, find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. Reverence Wrestling Club, official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Loco Grind. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country, getting your floors so clean your feet will thank you. And Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Parting thoughts, Mullis, we'll start with you, our guest. What's up,
Big
buddy?
week, baby. Big week.
Big week. Big week. Anything else? How was that NASCAR race yesterday?
Oh, it was good, man. Martinsville. Love it. Love short
Yeah.
tracks. Got my Wood Brothers hat.
Nice. Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's a sick hat. I love that.
There you go.
Long story. That's another show. But if we go, no better guy. If you ever if you want to Google a podcast, just get John Wood. Find a NASCAR podcast with John Wood on, and just one of the best guys you will ever meet in your life, and he's just hilarious. And I'm just so happy that he's getting to do. He's the president of Wood Brothers now. We've known this guy for a long time. I can't.
You like to see good things happen to good people.
Oh my God. And then they want to race. I mean, it just right off the bat, it's just when your buddies are doing well, you love it. And
yeah, man. No, that's
I did tell him
amazing.
the other day though when we were talking, selfishly I kind of liked it a little more when they sucked because tickets were a whole hell of a lot easier to come by. But you know, I mean, Angela, he let us go last year. I kept those. I mean, but now that they're winning, it's a little tougher spot.
Funny story. I asked him about the NASCAR race because yesterday, friend of the show, Dustin Etheridge, former Hilton Head Prep football coach, texted me out of nowhere with a screenshot of his I don't know, DraftKings or whatever, some kind of picks for the NASCAR race, and said, "Who should I swap out?" And I said, "Man, I got no idea, but I got a guy." So I said to Mullis, he said, "Get rid of the 99." So I don't know how he did yesterday, but
it was the right one to get rid of.
It was the right call.
Mhm.
All right. Maxie, you got a parting thought? You had one you're sitting on.
Well, I think everyone saw in terms of those who pay attention to baseball, including Major League Baseball, that Jerkson Profar today was suspended 80 games for performance-enhancing drugs. Freaking idiot. I'm not going to go any further than that because
and the playoffs.
Yeah, he'll be back when they play the Phillies late in the year, but he cannot compete with the team in the playoffs, which is
really
rightfully so.
Yep.
Dude deserved it for what he did. He's
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Freaking idiot.
It's not his first one either, right?
No, I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
I'm pretty sure he had one a couple years ago.
Yeah, I can't remember.
That's a tough.
And it sucks too because he was like such a good post-type breakout. You know, like he was like the number one prospect for ages, and then he kind of struggled, and then he kind of found himself and broke out and was doing well. And I thought it was a huge pickup for them. So sucks, but cheating.
Yeah, the stuff has gotten worse today too because I saw Renato Lopez has also been put on the 15-day IL for the Atlanta Braves with a shoulder issue. That
the 162-game season for a reason.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. You got to.
That's right.
Speaking of that, Wes, aren't you a Red Sox guy?
By the way, it leads to my other parting thought. After the tremendous opening day in Texas, it has all gone the other way, and what more says it all than Rafael Devers 0 for 19 to start the season. 0 for 19.
15 Ks.
Oh, Max, your mic just went janky.
15 Ks.
Ugh.
15
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes.
Yeah, but he's the third baseman.
You're right.
What do you think about that, Mullis? What do you think about that? So you bring in a Gold Glove third baseman, and to make the team better, and the guy's saying that's my position.
In other sports, you bring in a new guy, you
really
get
good
things out of him, and it just doesn't click. Yeah. And it's early; it's only like 4 or 5 games, but so far.
But I was appalled by his reaction.
I'm kind of with Kornheiser. I think it's going to be a Jimmy Butler deal.
Yeah, I do too. I think they're going to have to get rid of him.
Is it just me, or does Rafael Devers look like he gained weight during the offseason too?
Oh, he's beefy.
Yeah,
he's trying to eat his way to first base.
Now, just think about this, boys. I'm not saying we'd do much better, but I ain't too sure I wouldn't draw contact on 3 or 4 of them. I ain't telling you I'd get a hit, but hell, I can get you 15 Ks.
Yeah, I can too. I can do that. I can do that.
I mean, 0 for 19 with 15 strikeouts.
That's hard to do.
You just about can't do it.
That's hard to do. Couldn't hit water.
Well, his strikeouts have gone up. You see more strikeouts now, but still.
It's just unusual when you have a Hall of Fame type hitter.
Right.
Like, he's tracking that direction.
Yeah.
You know, not saying he's a Hall of Famer, but I mean, he got pretty damn good numbers for a young guy.
Wes. Wes, real quick. I know you just said that, strikeouts have gone up in MLB, and that is true, but come on, man. 15 strikeouts in 19.
Yeah, no, that's a big number, I'll tell you.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It's 80% strikeout rate.
He's breaking records every day. Well, they just put him on the IL.
Yeah.
It was probably
his elbow or something.
I'd put him on the IL too. I'd put him on the IL. I'd be like, yo, figure your crap out, man. Whatever's going on with you and you being a little crybaby.
Well, I guess while he's on the IL, Bregman can play third.
Well, Bregman's playing third, and Bregman's got like a lifetime 388 average.
Oh, he was good. He should be.
Bregman was playing third anyway. Devers was the DH the entire weekend.
And that's why he's powerful.
And that I mean, he's not sometimes those position changes.
I want to play third base, coach.
He's, by the way, also one of
I
the
thought we got
worst.
past that crap at like 10U.
But here's the other thing is, the reason they're putting Bregman at third is because Rafael Devers statistically is one of the worst.
The worst, and Bregman's one of the best. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
And that's why I
it's a
thought it was just
no-brainer.
unacceptable for him to react the way he did when they
crybaby.
signed Bregman.
Yeah.
Like,
Do y'all remember who got drafted one spot ahead of Bregman?
I don't.
Was it Devers?
Swanson.
Oh, it was Swanson.
Dansby.
He had a crazy play the other day.
I'm glad he plays for my team. We suck right now, but
that's
the other thing I wanted to discuss.
But we're up 4-0 in the top of the first on the nebulous geography athletics.
How did y'all lose to that? How did y'all lose that game with the pitcher
Oh my God.
How did y'all lose?
I don't
that
know.
game?
They were up 6-3, and then all of a sudden they were down 7-6, and then there was a pitcher up to bat because the D-backs somehow blew their DH. So their pitcher was up to bat, and first and second, and he has no interest in swinging at the first three pitches, but on the third one they just swipe second and third because nobody freaking looks at him. So now he doesn't even have to try to bunt. Now they draw in the infield, and he slaps a single through the middle and gets an RBI. I'm like, good
Lord. I wish
Lord.
we had DraftKings down here because I'd take Cincinnati to do something. Francona's
would too. I would too. I do like Cincinnati right now. They're kind of they're a team that I'm watching closely, and because also on top of them being a team that's been on the rise the last couple of years, they also now have a new manager as well.
Yeah, short list of people better than Francona.
Yeah, there are not many people that could say that they were better than Francona in their career. Man, that dude is.
I really thought he was done. I really did. I'm glad he's back in the game. I wish it wasn't against the division with the division.
Did he not have health issues? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think he's a builder. I think he likes to build it and move on.
He does. Yeah.
Well, he's got good assets to build a team with Cincinnati.
He sure does.
Now, that's for sure. And that is a clear and obvious team on the rise.
They got
I shouldn't really be calling out your Cubs because my Braves started 0-4 to start the year. They're playing the Dodgers tonight. That is the worst way to start a season is being on the road.
Padres and the Dodgers.
That's a horrible start to your season.
When are the Dodgers going to lose?
I don't know. They'll go 162.
By the way, breaking news.
In the World Series.
Yeah. Breaking news.
Can't win them all 62 if you don't win the first 5.
Wait, Wes has breaking news.
Breaking news. The Boston Red Sox has just agreed. Boston Red Sox has agreed to terms on a 6-year, $170 million extension for Garrett Crochet, who they
really
acquired in the offseason. So Crochet, 6 more years. Boston Red Sox.
He also pulled some nonsense last year where he said he wasn't going to accept a trade. If he was traded, he wasn't going to pitch in the postseason unless he had an extension.
Ooh,
that was
a lot of money for that
guy. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. That sends a certain type of message. Oh, yeah. Tito managed Jordan with the Barons. I forgot that. I forgot that. Birmingham Barons. Back in the day.
Yeah, but I can't make them out. I can't make fun of
it. Let's let you go. Peace out, Mullis. Be good, buddy. We'll talk to you
later, man.
See y'all.
See you, man.
That's Ned Mullis. He adds a little Southern charm as
yes, he does.
Authentic Southern charm. Sure does.
I'm sure he was thinking the same thing as I was on Saturday. I don't know if you guys have seen the highlights because me and Javon were out with Buford's Own. To watch that May River team play Fairview the other night.
Crazy comeback at the end.
Saturday morning, actually. And the way it ended is the craziest way I have seen a high school baseball game end ever.
I mean, I've probably seen crazier, but not a lot crazier.
I have never seen something like this before. I have not seen something this bad. It was...
Oh, well, that was this. I don't know how I got to the second inning, but
it was really bad. Now, I will say it was a great game overall. It was fantastic to watch, and I was so happy that I got to broadcast it.
We're gonna get here. It was a beautiful day too.
Oh, beautiful! It was a morning. It was a morning game. Me and Javon got there at 9:30 on Saturday morning for that game. It started at 10.
All right, so we're gonna get to the bottom of the 7th here, where they're down by 1.
Yeah, they both scored 5 in the first, which was crazy. I did not know what was gonna happen after the top of the first, which
so
was
there's
crazy.
Gustavo drawing a walk.
Yep, and then
Runners on the corners.
Jordan Reed
there's
got
Max.
hit by pitch.
Yep, here we go.
Which
So they got
all the
first
Fairview
and
players,
down to their last out. They had a runner on, and then
Fairview thought he got
it hit the knob.
But the umpires
And then
disagreed
a
with
chopper.
And goodbye. Game over.
Ooh. Wow.
Gonna get away, and that is the ball game.
Ain't that some?
That was.
You know what?
I did not expect that to happen. Me and Javon were just sitting there thinking, this is probably the game right here. And then they hit a ground ball, and I was like, and that could about do it. Oh my goodness! And
E1T.
I felt bad for that kid. That was a terrible way to end your road trip. For spring break. Because they were.
You see it a lot, though. You see it a lot. You got to put pressure on the defense, man.
They were technically on spring break this week. That is not the way you want to finish your spring break session.
You know what, though? Those boys from Colorado spent their spring break in Hilton Head playing baseball, so I think they're going to.
No, that's a what a better road trip, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's funny because Ned's been mentioning how they can't get anybody to come play down at the tank.
Yeah, they had to get somebody from Colorado. Well, they got somebody else coming in too, I think.
Oh, really?
I think so. Tomorrow, I think they got somebody. Let me see here.
Interesting. By the way, that Fairview team is in.
Never mind. It's not them. It's HHCA has Pigeon Forge, right?
Pigeon Forge, yeah, out of Tennessee. The Pigeon Forge.
They were supposed to play them today. I guess they got rained out.
It was
they got Sevier County on Wednesday. Sevier County.
They might play Pigeon Forge tomorrow.
They have Wilson Hall on the road tomorrow. Thursday would be their next open date. I don't know if Pigeon Forge will still be in town then or not.
Well, if they're on spring break, possibly.
Yeah.
There's a possibility they may still want to play that game. I don't know.
Or maybe they'll play a doubleheader with them in Sevier County on Wednesday for all I know. And then they got Tallulah Falls on Monday, whoever that is.
Yeah, by the way, the Dodgers are up 2-0 on the Braves already, and it's only the first inning. Hold on, let me check to see if they did not. I was wondering if they were going to play that game at some point tonight or wait out the storm and everything, but no, they didn't.
No, the field would have been deluged after.
But Thursday's a possibility for that game. I do always like seeing games between teams from different states. I do
too.
It's always fun.
Yeah, nice change of pace. Hilton had used to have a spring break invitational where they brought in teams from across the area. They don't do it anymore, but they did.
Yeah, Kerr kind of used to partake in that tournament.
That was Wells's baby.
Yep.
Yeah. We used to partake in that tournament for Christian Academy baseball every year. We started off our season.
We need to get when we get our baseball program on better footing at the Ville. We need to have a big spring break tournament.
We need to fix our field.
Our location's great. So
yeah, the location's great. We just need to fix our backstop. Our backstop.
Our backstop's way too deep. It's like Oakland Coliseum size freaking foul territory.
By the way, I have a funny thought that I have not. Well, I have two, but I have.
Who doesn't have too many Wells stories? You said you have a parting thought, Wes?
Yeah. Max went on for extended time, so I guess it's my turn now. But the first one is crazy to think about, but only the second time that all one seeds have advanced to the Final Four. Only last time was 2008, which Davidson almost denied, but Kansas Davidson almost beat Kansas. Kansas ended up making it, winning the championship in 08. But this year, I mean, just crazy because it seems like we haven't been even close to an opportunity to see all 4 1 seeds. But I'll tell you what, it makes for an exciting Final Four Saturday night.
It
Both
does.
games should be fantastic. I think you can make a case for any of those four teams to win it all, but I do think,
Yeah.
I think Duke. I think as much as as much as since my bracket goes against it, but I think Duke is going to win. They
I
are
think they're the
playing
best team.
they're playing the best of anyone
Yeah.
right now. Not just Cooper Flag. Everybody's been producing. John Shire. Tell you
That
what.
7-2 dude is, oh my
I'll tell
God.
you what, it's not easy to follow up a guy like Krzyzewski, but Shire's doing a heck of a job.
Yes, he is.
I will say this. I would say this. If it's not Duke, I do like Auburn right now. I know Auburn's been dealing with injuries and stuff like that.
I think Florida will beat them. I just don't know how you can deny what Florida has been doing.
Yeah.
Every time they back into a corner,
They are good.
they've been able to shoot themselves out of it, and that just seems like a team of destiny mentality when you have a guy like that who just continues to come up with big shots like Walter Clayton Jr. is doing. My goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, just an insane
that dude's
rally.
He's crazy good.
Yeah.
Crazy good.
So
No, it
yeah,
should be a
but,
great Final Four. Go ahead.
But yeah, it should be a good one. The women's Final Four is also being determined here today.
Yeah.
I think they're finishing up the Elite Eight.
Yeah, Texas beat
Don Bailey back in.
TCU.
UCLA made it, and then Texas over TCU, and UConn put the finishing touches on their win over USC. So it certainly could be Huskies and Gamecocks again, or at least it
Sucks
seems like
that Juju Watkins is not playing in this one right now. That would have been.
But hey, I'd love to see Paige
great.
Buckets compete for a national championship.
Oh, no doubt.
I
just wish that Juju had been healthy for this game. This game would have been outstanding
with everything that Paige has been through. I would love to see her compete for a national championship. Because she's dealt with multiple injuries.
Well, I'm sticking with Dawn's girls.
You can't bet against Dawn Staley.
That South Carolina team is really good. Yeah. I was really.
One more morning thoughts back in the Low Country. A busy day of throughout all sports, your high school sports, was a busy day in Hardyville. USCB baseball and softball are in action. They're both playing the same team. They're playing Edward Waters baseball, just a single game. Softball playing two. Baseball, frustrating season so far. Very frustrating season. But that last weekend, man, 2 games, really the last 2. You should have won. It's tough to see them drop those 2 to Columbus State. Softball, they were able to steal one on the road against Georgia Southwestern most recently. And so you would like to win that series. You had a chance to, but couldn't quite get it done. So they get Edward Waters, which should be a decent matchup. Edward Waters is over 500, but I think the Saint Sharks have a good opportunity of showing up in that series, and it's really just preparation for another road matchup for them this week at Columbus State. So I'm excited to see the softball team, baseball as well. You'd love to see them get off the schneid because it's getting late in the season, and it's do or die time for them at this point. So excited for a double. 2-1. Those are always exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I agree with you, Wes. For baseball, it has been frustrating this year. But there are a lot of positives to take away from that USCB team as well.
Absolutely.
Including their offense. Their offense has
been. I'll tell you what, the offense has been proving, even though the record last year,
runs,
the offense has shown some good signs.
And really, the one thing that we haven't talked enough about is the starting rotation's been pretty solid for USCB too. It's just when they take the starting pitcher out and the bullpen comes in, that's when the issues have started for USCB. We saw that twice. We saw that twice this past weekend against Columbus State again. It's been a recurring theme with USCB is that they'd be up by 5 or more runs. The bullpen comes in, they have struggled.
And I really thought they had it when a couple of times throughout the weekend.
I did too.
Yeah, but especially on this is on Friday or Saturday. The one where they went up 8-3. And just it just seems like we've seen those scenarios happen so many times, and then Again in game
10
2,
unanswered
where
runs.
USC had a lead, and Columbus State was able to rally from behind.
Yeah,
and
I
win.
mean that 8-3 game. I mean, 10 unanswered runs is not the winning formula.
Demoralizing.
Yep.
Just
It
demoralizing.
And then on Sunday as well, after the Jeremy Brown home run, where they went up 5-4.
Oh yeah, dude,
Yeah.
see, that one's different because they fought the entire way through. It just one home run and it changed everything in that game
that's what
for them.
happens.
You know,
But hey,
all
like I
right,
said,
boys. Well,
I like what Jeremy Brown's been doing. I like what Joe Turner's been doing. Now it's just a matter of, can you find
they
more
got
depth?
some bats. Yeah, they got some
the
bats.
bats are there.
Some arms.
It's just a matter of finding more arms, and the hope is that you're able to build on that as you go forward. And so that's I'm still optimistic about this program, but when the results aren't showing themselves, it can be frustrating. That's true for any sport. When
Mad Max don't need to be pitching at USCB, I promise.
No,
he's got to start throwing strikes in BP first.
I do not have that kind of arm. I'm sorry, but I do not have anywhere close to that kind of arm, Kevin. You may think I do, but I definitely know I don't. Not even close.
Just because it hurts your hand doesn't mean he can do it at that level.
It barely hurts my high school
my parting thought is a happy birthday to our man Mad Max.
Thank you.
Been with us for a little over a year now.
Yeah,
a little over a year.
Yeah, I mean, it was last spring. So
last basketball season. So end of season. So been fun. Feels like much longer than a year. Feels like we've celebrated more than this many birthdays with you. But hope you had a good one, man. And glad that you got to spend a little bit of it with us here in the sandbox. So wish everybody wish Max a happy birthday the next time you see him. Go on his Facebook and make him get another notification, all that stuff. But great show tonight. Always fun to talk with our friends Misa and Coach Mullis. We haven't had him on in a long time. Definitely good to have him back on, and he enjoyed it. So we'll have to get him on again real soon. He definitely adds a little flavor to the show. Thanks to all of our sponsors, especially the OGs Mickelson Law Firm. Thanks to all of our commenters, Kevin Libby primarily, and thanks to all of you for showing up to listen or watch. We appreciate you, and we'll be back to do it again real soon. I'm not going to yet commit to tomorrow because I have a road JV game at Savannah Christian.
Tell you what, I might. I feel up for it. I'm doing baseball, or I don't know if baseball or softball. You may have to find out when I'm on the stream tomorrow, depending on what our scheduling is. But after that, I will see how I feel. But we have a ton of going on.
We sure do. Bluffton May River baseball is the big one.
Yep.
That's huge.
To decide to see how I feel, but keep an eye open for it's going to be a busy week. I mean, it is that time where region play really starts to ramp up, and it's getting down to it.
Some idiot scheduled 4 games this week.
Especially with the 3-game series in baseball now, because normally we just had 2 or 4 this year, and now 3 games. Really got to squeeze it in.
We got rained out tonight, or we would have had 2 varsity and 2 JV this week. But so we'll see when we can get that one in. All right, boys, good stuff. Thanks so much. Thanks to everybody. We'll see you next time. For Max Arraj, the birthday boy, and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Loco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.